All right, everyone. We have Coach here. Coach, we'll let you get started.
Okay, thanks, Jordan. All right, injury front, Deshaun, as you guys know, is going to have surgery on his Achilles this week, so he's out for the season. Dorian has that injury to his finger. We'll kind of get some more information on that today, this week, and we'll make some determinations this week, but still have some more information to gather, more opinions to gather on that one, so I can update you guys later in the week. As you know, just watching the tape, obviously frustrating not to play well on all three sides of the ball, play well enough to win on all three sides of the ball and put that game together where we're going and doing those things that look like complementary football. So got to do that. And obviously got another division game this week at our place. So that's our focus and that's what we're working towards. With that, I'll take any questions.
All right. First question will go to Tony.
Okay, Kevin, can you give a better explanation of why DTR was activated ahead of Winston, and did he get enough practice time to be prepared for seeing action?
Yeah, kind of like we talked about yesterday, Tony. I think going into the season, I felt like both guys were worthy of being the backup quarterback. I told those guys that early in the season. Felt like with not having that short yardage package with Jameis in this last game, felt like Dorian had acquitted himself well in practice and in his preparation to make him the backup. That's the story.
And the other thing is, it was the first time we saw Deshaun on the snake. Why did you make the decision that he would execute that play rather than Winston? During the week, you made that decision, obviously.
Yeah, again, that's something that Jameis obviously has done well in his career, but not having him up in the game, then it just became Deshaun would do that.
Okay.
All right. Next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin. When it comes to Dorian, or is the information you're looking for whether or not he's going to need surgery on the finger?
I'd say all of the above. Just need to hear from a couple other people, but I feel good about him being available this season. Is it this week?
Okay.
Is it next week? I just need more information.
Gotcha. And do you know which kind of surgery Deshaun's going to have? Is he going to have the kind that Rodgers had?
I do not know.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Next we'll go to Ashley.
Kevin, just I guess what's the reaction from the rest of the team to this over these less than 24 hours now? Just another obviously big personnel loss for you guys with Deshaun.
Yeah, that's obviously we're disappointed when we lose anybody, Ashley, to injuries. That's a very, very, very unfortunate part of our game. So it's tough. So we feel bad for Deshaun in this case. Feel bad to lose him for the season, and we also know as a football team, this is where you have to step up. Guys have to step up, and that's just how it goes.
And then since you got asked about Dorian a little bit already, but if it is Jameis that's starting next week, just what you've seen from him in his time here so far.
Yeah, Jameis has done a nice job really going all the way back to since he's gotten here, understanding how we operate, what we do. Feel really confident in Jameis as well.
All right. Next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, I know you don't know yet, Kevin, if you would start Dorian, but because of the health of his finger and everything, but what would be maybe some reasons that you would want to see him more this season? Do you guys have to figure out if he can be your quarterback going forward or if he can compete for a job?
Yeah, I understand the question, Mary Kay. I'm not really there though. My thought process is really day to day in this business right now, and so we'll see how he comes out of this injury, see what the doctors say and that type of thing, and then we'll make our decisions.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Next we'll go to Jeff.
Hey, Kevin, more of a big picture question. If you could look back to the beginning, where do you think this season went sideways when everybody expected so much from you guys?
Yeah, I understand the question, Jeff. I'm not really in that mode yet. That's for end of the season type things. I will tell you, this is sports. This is football. Teaches you a lot about yourself. You don't always get what you want. You put in a lot of work and you don't always get that result you want, but you just have to respond. That's really where we're focused.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next we'll go to Daniel.
Hear me?
Yes, got you now.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, I know, throughout the start to the season, you were defended and kind of supported Deshaun as a starting quarterback. In your opinion and your kind of viewpoint, the team said you expect a full recovery when he does come back. Is it still your belief that he is this team starting quarterback?
Yeah, obviously I believe in Deshaun, but I also think it's important just to acknowledge that he just had a bad injury and bad break for him, and we're feeling bad for him and know that he'll bounce back, but not getting into all those things down the road. I'm looking forward to him getting the surgery and obviously getting his body back.
All right, next we go to Daryl.
Yeah, Kevin, I want to go back to DTR as the number 2 quarterback for a moment. You said yesterday that the backup quarterbacks, they don't get reps with the ones in practice. So my question is, how do you prepare a guy for a potential package usage in a game if they don't get those reps?
One more time, Daryl.
I'm just wondering how you prepare DTR for that package of reps that you said yesterday you thought about using him, and that's why you made the switch to elevate him to the number 2 quarterback. Just how do you prepare him for that if he's not getting those first team reps in practice?
Yeah, I have to be clear then. So our ones get all the reps in practice. If there's a package of plays for a player, he would get those reps in a practice. This was not the decision to put Dorian as a number 2 was not because of a certain package of plays. We didn't have a specific set of plays for Dorian in that game. We made him the backup quarterback so he would serve in that role if there was an injury, and obviously we were not hoping for that. That was unfortunate how that played out. But it was really, I guess, to be clear, Jameis had a short yardage package in the previous weeks where he was going in. So he gets those reps in practice because we didn't have that in. And I felt like Dorian had done a nice job throughout practice, throughout really the spring and summer. That really was the decision. It wasn't about any sort of package for Dorian.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that. And then I know you said you don't want to reflect on big picture as far as how and why this thing has gone the way it has in the first 7 games. My question to you now is, considering where you're at right now, how do you get this thing on track or keep this from getting worse, both on the field as well as, in the locker room with player frustrations and things like that?
Yeah, I think anybody, anytime, Daryl, when you lose, it's no fun. There's pain in that, and we don't love that feeling. But our guys understand that our goal is just to win. Just we want to win this game, this next, and all we can focus on, all we can control is this next one. Can't do anything about what's happened in the past, and I think we have a group that really understands that.
All right, next we go to Cam.
Hey, Kevin, it's maybe a little similar to Daryl's question, but after the game yesterday, a lot of players were voicing their frustrations with maybe the reaction from Deshaun's injury. So I just wonder, as the head coach of this team, what's the messaging to your players who may have been extremely frustrated by that, making sure that that doesn't spiral into anything more than it was?
Yeah, our guys are certainly supporting their teammate. I understand the emotions of it. Like I mentioned yesterday, I don't think there's a place for booing players that are injured, whether it's your own team, the opponents. I think everybody understands that. And I also know that's not everybody in that building. So, disappointed, but we're moving forward.
All right. And then on another note, Nick Chubb, obviously his first game back, he was limited in that second half. How did he come out of that one? And maybe what does the week look like for him in terms of a workload preparation?
Yeah, he came out okay. I think it's important, again, that he, builds on this week and we'll see where it goes from there.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Chris.
Hey, Kevin, two just real quick questions. One, will you guys sign another quarterback, add another quarterback either to the active roster or the practice squad?
I think yes, but not exactly sure where that goes just yet.
Also, you mentioned Jack at the toward the end of yesterday. Any update on where he's at? Was it just precautionary, just something, you know, get him out of the game?
Yeah, he was dealing with something, but I think he should be good to go.
Thanks.
All right, next we go to Spencer.
Hey, Coach. First off, just obviously another week where pre-snap penalties have been an issue for you guys. I know after last week, we kind of asked Deshaun just like, what can you do differently? But from your vantage point, like how much of that from a coaching standpoint can you guys do to fix those problems that continue to just kind of persist?
Yeah, it's something that you emphasize in practice. You certainly emphasize in meetings. You emphasize during the game. Those are totally self-inflicted. Nothing that the defense is doing. It's our guys, and it's not just one position. It's multiple guys that have to understand that the way they call the illegal shifts is you can't have two guys moving at the same time, and we have to be better. And it really is ultimately my responsibility, but it's the responsibility of our coaches, our players, to play within these rules and how they're officiating them.
And then we know how much this offense was kind of geared between you and Ken, sort of designing it for Deshaun throughout the offseason. How much can you change? Do you change if you go from Deshaun to Dorian to Jameis? What does that kind of look like? Is there different things you sort of institute depending on who's under center?
Yeah, I think you have to do that as an offense. Is you're always leaning into what your quarterbacks are most comfortable with. So that'll be true certainly moving forward.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, next we go to Justin.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you about a specific play. Jedrick Will seemed to miss an assignment on that Dorian Thompson-Robinson sack, and he threw his hands up in the air. It looked like he was expecting someone off the edge and kind of let Trey Hendrickson come right through the line and get to DTR. Have you looked back on that play? And if you did, like, what exactly did you see on that play?
Yeah, I have. You know, I don't, as you can imagine, we make corrections in the building with our players and that type of thing. Obviously, that's not what we want to do on that play. We need to be better.
Thank you.
All right, last one from Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, how hard was it to get a true read on Deshaun's value and worth this season? And do you feel like you really know who he is as a quarterback at this point in his career?
Yeah, I understand the question, Mary Kay, and I, you know, I feel badly for Deshaun with this injury. You know, this is a tough break for him, but I know he will bounce back. But he's been a great contributor to this football team, both in the locker room, on the practice field, on the game field, and we'll just support him as he rehabs from that injury.
But can you assess at all how well he played for you in under very trying circumstances with so much going on around him? And do you believe that if some things were different, could he fare better out there on the field?
Yeah, and again, I'm disappointed that it's only X number of games that he's able to play this season. But I do think we know what he's about. I know what he brings to the table for this football team.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks,
Okay.
Coach.
Thanks, guys.